man. Stang. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. Back with a brand new video for y'all, man. Today I'm talking about how long you should be in no contact with your ex. This is a big topic. People always breaking up every day. So I'm going to help y'all out on that. Before I do, make sure y'all check out my other page, Wolf and Pooch. And then if I help you out in any type of way at the end of the video, hit that notification bell so you get my videos, hit that subscribe button, and hit that like button. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so fresh out of a breakup, man, something happened. We don't know. One of y'all could have cheated. She could have cheated on you. You could have cheated on her. Or maybe y'all just found out y'all incompatible. Either way, it's always a time frame, that you should be in no contact with that person, right? Because especially if you want it to be effective. So let's start with, if your goal is to heal and move on, right? If your goal is to heal and move on, then I will say at least 30 to 60 days minimum, right? At least. That's the minimum. Because you want to give your emotions time to settle. Chances are you're still probably hyped up, you're still thinking about what happened. And so you need time for that energy to be released, right? And during this time, it also helps break attachment patterns. Because a lot of times we be in unhealthy attachment patterns when we dealing with people. You getting negative soul ties, right? That's a real thing. That's real shit. Negative soul ties is real, right? So with that being said, you need time for that to, for one, be broken. So you're not attached to that person. And then it gives you the chance to regain clarity and respect. Self-respect, right? Because the most important relationship you have is with yourself at the end of the day. And a lot of time we lose ourselves in relationship. And you may start disrespecting yourself by settling for things you normally wouldn't have. So now is the time to regain that clarity and that self-respect. Now, for deeper emotional wounds or trauma, I will say at least 90 days or more is even better, right? The deeper the hurt, the longer it takes to heal, pretty much. Don't rush this process. Don't worry. The day market ain't going nowhere. Don't rush this process, all right? So that was if you're trying to heal and move on and forget about them. Now, if your goal is to get them back, which a lot of people go no contact because they actually want their ex back, right? So if that's your goal, then at least 30 days minimum, right? This is the classic no contact rule that you see all over YouTube, but at least 30 days minimum, right? Because for one, you got to rebuild that mystery again. She knows too much about you. Y'all know too much about each other, right? You got to get back to your life, doing the things you was doing. She got to start thinking and wondering like, what is he doing? Where is he at, right? You need to rebuild that mystery because that's going to rebuild the attraction as well. And then during this time, it also shows your strength and it resets the power dynamic. Because let's say she broke up with you. So she holds the power. No, she the one that left you. So by you giving her space to fill your absence and to reassess what you mean to her, that resets the power dynamic. Because now you're not needy, right? She knows, okay, this dude, he ain't even hit me back. So he probably could go another 2-3 months without talking to me. So now she's going to get the ball rolling, right? Now she may reach out to you to see what the hell's going on. See, usually it's a thing called dumper's remorse. Usually you got a dumper and you got the dumpee. The dumpee usually feels it at the beginning. Right after the breakup, it's fresh. They're heartbroken. They're discombobulated, probably depressed. And so it takes them that time right after the breakup to heal. It takes them a while, right? Now, the dumpers, the one that dumps you, they don't go through that same process. Fresh out the breakup, they may feel freedom, right? They may feel relieved. They may be happy that you're no longer around, But that's only fresh after the breakup. As time passes, the dumper starts to feel your absence, right? Starts to feel the dumpee's absence. So now it starts to hit them. Damn, did I make a mistake? Should I go back? Was I in the wrong? Look at them. They doing good without me. And then the dumpy, who was at the beginning of the breakup, was mad, sad, and all this other shit. Now, as it progresses, they're more at peace, right? Now they're like, you know what? I don't need that person. I could still be okay by myself. And so you start to, the person that got dumped, like, all right, I'm chilling. I let it out, took the time to heal, I'm gone. So a lot of times it's dumper's remorse. So if you got dumped, and let's say again, she hits you up, right? You only want to break it if she's genuinely making a move towards the reconnection, right? A lot of times they'll hit you up just out of boredom, guilt, or ego. Could be an ego thing, just to see if they still got you wrapped around their finger. And that's what you don't want, because then they just gonna leave again later down the line. But if they reach out and they're really trying to, all right, you know what, let's work this out. I fucked up. I see where I went wrong. I see where we could get better. Then okay, maybe you reach back, you hit them back, and y'all start conversating again, right? But that's if you want them back in the first place. A lot of times, once you stop dealing with somebody for a while, you realize you're way better off without them. You realize, they was holding you back. So that may happen. That's why when you go no contact, you don't want to do it just to manipulate, get them to chase, because that could backfire, right? You want to do it to really like heal and move on. When you go no contact, your mindset should be, I may never speak to them again. Not, oh, when is she gonna text me? When is she gonna call me? That shouldn't be the mindset, because then you're not going to get the benefits of this, right? You're not going to be all the way in. So here are some signs that you are ready to break no contact, though. If you're no longer emotionally reactive when thinking about them. So hearing their name, you ain't upset no more. You ain't thinking about how they cheated on you. You ain't thinking about how she called you a little biatch. You ain't thinking about none of that, right? It no longer has your emotions in a chokehold. That's one clear sign that you probably moved on, right? And you can talk to them if you want to. You can talk to them without there being a lot of emotional tension there. You have a clear head. Another sign is that you realize that, like I was saying earlier, that you're stronger and better without them, right? That's another sign you're ready to break no contact, because you've done the healing. So now they don't phase you. They can't just pull you back in like that, right? You're way more smarter. You have clarity about what you want now and what you will accept. That's the purpose of this whole period. Gaining clarity about what I want, what I'm willing to accept. Creating these boundaries and these standards that you have for yourself. This is the perfect time for that. All right. But like I said, do not use no contact as manipulation, because it's not going to work, bro. It's not going to work. Because you could be trying to go no contact thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to just leave her alone. Wait till she hit me up, make her chase. But what if she never hit you up, right? What if during this no contact, she actually finds a better guy than you? Because you thought you was playing a game, and she showed you that she owns the system. You thought you had the controller, but she had the system. So she said, you know what? I'm going to just shut all this down, and I'm going to just move on. Now you sitting there looking at her snaps, looking at her Instagram stories, and now you're in your feelings because you thought you was going to manipulate. Instead, you got played. So you don't want to do this as manipulation, as a tactic, because it will backfire, right? Then you're going to be hurt. So that's it for this video, man. If you made it this far, I want you to put no contact, And honestly, these are just like guides to how long you shouldn't be in no contact. But it really all depends on you and how you feel emotionally and if you're ready. You know, I will say though, at least go 30. Don't be thinking after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that everything gonna just be right back. Nah. It's not. It's not. All right. So to the next video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's get this in the algorithm, and you already know what it is. It's lit.